Hi, my name is Ivan Fiyun, International Media Coach for Pastors and Ministries, and in this video I'm going to be speaking to Dr. Frank A. Thomas on his experience in creating a media platform for him to get his gold out of him and present his value to the world. Hi Dr. Frank, thank you for joining me in this video. I just wanted to get your thoughts on while we were working together on some of the things that we've experienced. The creating the content, we've looked at two different aspects of your ministry and we've developed two different types of series to deliver online and on the different channels that we're developing for you to communicate to the people that I believe you're called to. What is your experience in the creating of that content and that media product been?
Well, I think it's really fairly easy because what you've helped with is the delivery system of the content. Most people have content, but in the 21st century, it's the delivery of the content and what platforms you can deliver the content. So I think the content has really been good, but if it stays inside or stays at home, so what you've helped me with is the ability to deliver the content across multiple platforms to reach a wider and a broader and a global audience. So I've had good content, but it's the repackaging and the reshaping with the theory of online delivery that has made a tremendous difference.
You have a saying about your purpose, that portion about sermonic forms, etc. Do you want to just repeat that and say that to us?
I preach and teach the Word of God in creative and relevant sermonic forms to offer people hope for Jesus, hope for life in Jesus Christ. So that's my purpose, my mission statement. That's my reason for being.
Okay. Do you feel that this process helps you achieve that? I'm talking specifically about the creativity and the sermonic forms and bringing it into different ways.
Well, if you don't have a consistent delivery system or delivery system consistent with the age that you're living in, then you're the only one that has the benefit, or you're the only one that has the material. So I think that most preachers or most people have some content that they can, with help, shape to be delivered across digital platforms to reach and touch people. So I think the genius of it is a lot of people want to do evangelism. A lot of people want to expose their business. But if you don't have the right platforms, so now we did a Periscope call, for example, and I had people from South Africa in America on my Periscope call. So the content that I was sharing about preaching would have stayed in America. But because it was across a digital internet platform in a usable form for people, it's accessible globally. So I'm appreciative of the push, sometimes the prodding that goes with your ministry to help expand content in usable shapes and forms well beyond what I myself would have normally envisioned.
Were you surprised by the result that you got on Periscope?
I was surprised how quickly the number of people, yes, I was. We said that if we got 5 people, we would be successful, and we had 65 people. So that had to do with, of course, the Twitter feeds and the Facebook pages and the promotion that we did. But yeah.
How have you experienced doing the call in terms of delivery and ease of delivery of your content?
Well, the call between you and I, or?
No, the Periscope.
Oh yeah, it wasn't anything different than what I was already doing. You put the phone up and you talk. So I already talk for a living, so it wasn't.
So there was no challenges for you. It was just.
Well, it's always a little bit. You got to learn how to use Periscope, and then you got to learn how to block people. But it's minimal. It's not. Most people could learn it if people saw the benefit of the people that they could reach. I think it'd be motivation to do that little extra.
Do you like the fact that it helps you reach a larger audience, and especially what I was focusing on is the interaction that was important to me, answering the questions, etc. Did you find that valuable? And
Yeah, because you're able to get dialogue with the audience, and then, you know, in the dialogue, any good teacher knows that good questions stimulate even better teaching. And so, what the last thing we want is a static platform where you're just talking, and the questions, the enthusiasm of it's coming to you helps you to teach. So, I was very pleased, and I don't consider myself a techie or a tech giant by any stretch of the imagination, but it's been pretty simple to learn. And I say to people, when you realize the potential of how many people could be reached, it's worth it to me. It's worth the investment of time.
I like that you referenced the technical skills. We went through every platform, and I showed you some what I call them hacks. I call them some tricks on how to get the best out of every platform. How was your experience in learning how those things work, and how doing small things or changing the way that we do things get you better results?
Well, I think that's the benefit of what you bring to the table. And so I could have learned that. It took me about 6 years. So we were able to compress in 2 months, go across multiple platforms. It would have taken me 6 years to learn the hard way. So your base of knowledge has exponentially upped my learning curve and allowed me to really blossom on platforms that some I resisted, as we know.
Let's talk about that. You were very fearful and resistant of media, social media in general, at the very start.
One particular form.
How do you feel about that today?
Well, I'm still not all the way there, but I understand the ability. I think you get the sense to reach more and more people, I think it encourages, because that's what we want to do, reach people for Christ, reach people with the gospel. And if it helps you reach more people, I mean, what's the sense of having good content and you're the only one that has it? That's crazy.
We've done a lot of work today in terms of content, specifically doing videos, etc. And we're basically producing content in 4 days that's going to go out
Right.
12 months.
Right.
Does that strategy make sense to you, and is that something that you feel that's useful for you? And we were talking about the constriction of time, and you're working on books and manuscripts, and you're teaching, etc.
Right.
Is that going to help you? Because we were talking about the administration that would be needed to do that, where this process really takes a lot of that away.
Well, I would rather spend 4 days and get it done and have 12 months of material across 2 different subject matters, so that I can release 2 videos a week, one on preaching and one on living your passion. And I'd rather come for 4 days and get it done than to keep running back and forth. It's a better use of my time. I can focus, boom, I hit it. And so I think that's everybody may not like that, but I like to bang it out in 4 days. So in essence, I got material for a whole year. And I think that's phenomenal.
I mentioned that the importance of making this work and the momentum to keep going is the creating content in between. How are you experiencing that, and going forward? We talked about today, and I was talking about the things that ideally we should do, and we compromised in a way. You said, I can do that, I can't do that, etc. How do you feel about that necessity to still be present and be interacting with your crowd in between, even though you still have content going out and scheduled ahead of time?
Well, I'm very busy, and so I said to you what I could do and what I couldn't do, and I think that every person should come to be honest about what they can and what they can't do. And I don't feel obligation and pressure like I've got as you standing over me as somebody. No, this is self-generated. You're the coach, you're the digital media, and you help me and guide me, and I've got to do the work. And so I tell you what I think I can do and what I can't, because I've got a life, I've got a family, I've got a job, I teach preaching, I travel, I speak, I write, I got all the stuff I got doing. This is a part of my life, though realizing you can do all that without the right digital platforms, it still stays contained in my world versus the whole world. So I think that, each person has to be honest about what is it that they can do and what they can't do.
In our process, it's been a small measure of accountability. I think on both sides, but also from my side. Has that helped in your process in developing this platform? I know you're a pretty disciplined individual, but in this specific process, a process that was difficult for you at the beginning, does that help into getting things done?
Yeah, I think that if I'm understanding, I think that it's the investment of time, and time is our most valuable quantity. And so, if I'm going to invest time, it's almost as if time is more important than money. People will give you their money to get you out of their face. You come ask for a donation, take the money, yeah. But people's time. And so to discipline myself, to give you the time, not waste the time, and the measure of accountability first was internal, but really knowing that I had to call and we know we had to talk, it does spur you on, but ultimately it has to be self-generated. It has to be.
We're touching on something in this, my final question. You could have easily paid a digital company to do everything on your behalf, but you are personally involved in this process. Do you think that's important, and why?
I do. On the one side of it, it is my own brand, and so if you don't manage your brand, people will manage it for you as to what they think. That's one thing.
And don't you think your voice and authenticity gets lost that way if you allow someone else to completely manage and create everything for you?
Well, some people do it every day. It's not worth their time. Let me answer that question. So some other people have other people manage their stuff. But for me, here we are in content creation. I love creating content. And so more content gets created in the moment of creating this content for me. So I'm going to be as involved as I can, or I'm going to schedule it so I can be involved, because my wife, she's wonderful. She can't do this. My administrative assistant is wonderful. She can't do this. I just have to decide what's my priority. And for me, the final decision factor was, these are 21st century contemporary platforms by which content is being delivered to people. Do I want my content delivered to help people, or do I just want to keep it? If I want to keep it amongst a small circle, then I can keep doing what I'm doing. And it's good. I mean, people respond well, but it's sort of kind of a waste when you got good stuff that could help people all over the globe. So you invest the time. And I know that, I don't know if I think, you asked me a question, then I interpret it. But for me, it comes down, it's an evangelization tool to reach people. And either you got a better tool, or you're happy with the people you're reaching, which all that could be true, or you sit down and have an honest talk with yourself and say, I've got good stuff. God wants to use it and deliver it to as many people as possible. So maybe I need to step up my game and get literate in the digital media world.
How's your overall experience been working with me?
It's been well. As you know, we've had some push and pull. I tell you what I can do. You said we need to. I said, but it's really been good. I'm thankful for the relationship. Thankful to meet you, and I think that what we've done today is going to reach untold people. I have no idea how many people. I'm going to be asleep somewhere, and it's going to be reaching people. So it has allowed me the opportunity to do what I love to do, to preach and teach the gospel in creative and relevant sermonic forms. This is a relevant and creative sermonic form that I'm in right now. So this fits my mission. I get to do it. It gets to help people. It's a win. Everybody wins. God wins. So people win. I win.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.